Welcome to the World Rugby Under-20s Championship 2018 from the Stade de la Méditerranée in Béziers in the south of France, which is 10 kilometers from the Mediterranean coast. This beautiful city is host to the final day of the championship. The top 4 teams went through to the semi-finals and finals, whilst the remaining 8 teams play off for positional places. So earlier on today, Ireland won by 39 points to 33 over Japan. Japan will drop out of the championship and go down into the trophy competition. They're relegated. Scotland have just lost by 31 points to 39. The Georgians were the 3rd victory in this championship. And then in the 5th place playoff games, Argentina were beaten 15 points to 41 by Australia. And next up, the 7th place playoff game between Wales and Italy. And then later on today, we've got South Africa against the defending champions New Zealand in the 3rd place playoff game for that bronze medal. And then the final, England 6 times in the final, up against the host France. It should be an absolute cracker this evening in Béziers.
Make sure you send it to me.
So we're on pitch 2 out the back of the main stadium. I'm your main match commentator, Scott Hastings, alongside me, Rory Lawson. Looking forward to some open rugby and blustery conditions on the pitch as well.
Very much so, Scott. Both of these sides would have set their sights on the upper echelons of the tournament, but as it is, they are in the 7th place playoff.
So just confirmation then, you welcome back from Le Stade de Méditerranée in Béziers, Wales versus Italy in this 7th place playoff game.
Remember the time.
So Wales against Italy. Let's have a look at the team lineups today. Gerian Lewis has made 6 changes to his starting lineup. Fullback Joe Goodchild, who scored a crucial try on Wales' opening victory against Australia, will feature for the first time since an injury against New Zealand in round 2. Inside centre, Max Llewellyn makes up his first start of the tournament after being called on as replacement for the injured Rio Dyer, and Harry Morgan comes in at scrum half. Changes to the pack come in the form of hooker Dowie Lake, blindside Lennon Griggins, and open side Tame Basham in the back row. Keep an eye out for Rhys Carey winning his 20th cap at this level. The side is captained by Ian Nichols, with regular skipper Thomas Reffel dropping down to the bench. Well, for Italy, coach Fabio Rosselli brings back his influential loosehead prop Danilo Fischetti back into the front row to replace Guido Romano, who drops to the bench. There's a reshuffle in the back row. Antoine Coffey comes in at number 8. Ludovico Mani slots to the blind side, and David Rugari is named as a replacement. There's 4 changes in the backs. Outgo influential playmaker Filippo De Marco has been taken by Antonio Rizzi. There's a new centre partnership with Damiano Mazza and Matteo Mascaradi lining up in midfield. And the final change sees Alessandro Fusco returning to the right wing. The side is captained by their outstanding open side flanker Michele Romaro. So minutes away from this match between Wales and Italy, the 7th place playoff game here at the Stade de Méditerranée, here in Béziers. Cooler conditions as the sun has disappeared behind the clouds. We're out on pitch 2 from the main stand here. 18,000 people expected later on for the final between France, the hosts, and England. That should be a cracker, as should this match here. Alongside me, Scott Hastings, in the commentary box is Rory Lawson.
Yeah, good afternoon, Scott. We've seen already in the 2 matches out on pitch 2 so far today, wind playing havoc and having a big impact on the game. And both Italy and Wales will be very keen to finish this tournament on a high. They both had 2 wins in the pool stages, but lost out. Wales to Argentina and Italy to Australia. And they will look to both go toe-to-toe in this match. 2 terrific teams, both look to play rugby, real combative sides, and they'll be looking to empty the tanks and finish this tournament on a high.
Well, it's a long walk from the changing rooms underneath the main stand, which you can see in the background of these shots here, onto pitch 2. And And I bet many players don't have a 3-minute walk onto the pitch from the main changing room area and complex. But it'll be a proud for Ian Nicholas, who leads his Welsh team onto the pitch. And for this Italian team, well, they're searching a victory after their loss in the previous round, but they're led on by their captain, Michele Lamaro, the outstanding flanker for them. As you mentioned, Rory Lawson, these blustery conditions are going to have its say in this game.
Very much so, Scott. It'll be interesting, the opening encounters, and just to see how each of the teams takes on the strategy this afternoon. You touched on it, there's not a huge crowd out here on number 2. There's some travelling support, some parents in the crowd, but for all these guys out here, it's about generating their own atmosphere. They've got to get themselves fired up, because this is big moments. They want to finish the tournament in 7th place. Only one of these sides can do it. It's a big, big contest. The 5th game in 19 days for these young men. So it's all about emptying the tanks, going to the well that one last time.
Well, Wales were finalists in 2013 when they lost to France. Ellis Jenkins played in that, and he was also part of the Welsh performance at senior level last night against Argentina. First, the anthems from Wales and Italy. Well, plenty of passion there from the Italians after the national anthems, in Wales, well, As always, let's have a look at the lineup. Geraint Lewis has made 6 changes to the starting lineup for this 7th place playoff match. Fullback Joe Goodchild, who scored a crucial try in Wales' opening victory against Australia, will feature for the first time since an injury against New Zealand in round 2. Centre Max Llewellyn will make his first start of the tournament. Harry Morgan comes in at scrum half, and then changes the back come in the form of hooker Dowie Lake, blindside Lennon Griggins, and open side Tane Basham in the back row. For Italy, well, coach Fabio Rosselli brings in his influential loose head prop Danilo Fischetti. There's a reshuffle in the back row. Anton Coffey comes in at 8. Ludovico Mani slots to the blind side, and David Rugari is named as a replacement. There's 4 changes in the back. Filippo De Marco is out, replaced by Antonio Rizzi. There's a new centre partnership with Damiano Mazza and Matteo Mascardi. And finally, a change sees Alessandro Fusco returning to the right wing. Michele Romaro captains the side from blind side. Our referee in the middle, Sean Gallagher, will be in charge of this 7th place playoff game. So just seconds away from the 7th playoff game. Italy in their traditional blue jerseys against the red jerseys of Wales. Strong wind blowing in the backs of the of the Italian players down into Welsh territory, and they will field ball first, and Harry Morgan at scrum half. We'll see how testing this wing is as he shapes for the box kick. Up it goes, and as you can see, held up in the wind, but good positioning from Anton Coffey. This number 8 for Italy, Fischetti, returning to the side. This is 20th cap in under 20s level. Rizzi caught in the tackle by Rhys Carey. And then the break by Nicola Casillo. But over the top and holding on the ball. Casillo, sorry, the scrum half holding on the ball, and then 2 players flopping over the top.
Yeah, and a really high quality start right across the board, starting with a kick from Harry Morgan, testing wind, but it was dealt with very well by Antoine Coffey, the number 8 from Italy, and from there they got their ball carriers into play, carrying nicely, but it was a big second row. Rhys Davies is one of the men over the top of it at ruck time. You see the number 4 jersey helped together with Dowie Lake, winning their side a penalty and getting a good field position. They've gone for the shortened line out, a 5+1 line out first up.
So the throw is intercepted in the line out by Italy. So the mistake from Dowie Lake. Tricky conditions here at the Stade de Méditerranée. This is pitch 2 outside the main stadium, so it'll be hard for both these teams to cope with the wind blowing downfield, but the counter ruck is good from Wales, and the pick and go by Tane Basham to give Wales some front foot rugby. First look at Kai Evans, and well, pressure on the outfield there, but an offside against the Italian defence that flooded up.
Really good counter ruck by the Welsh defence. They're identifying the ball hadn't been sealed off, getting through the middle to force the turnover, and they're rewarded with a first penalty opportunity for Kai Evans. You see there just the intercept attempt, but from Giovanni Donofrio. We've seen how dangerous he is with when he gets his hands on the ball, but the referee came back. I think it was a late tackle in and around that ruck. First opportunity for Wales.
Kai Evans from the Ospreys club. Well, we'll only mention it once, Rory, but he is the son of a former Welsh and British and Irish lion, Ieuan Evans, who I understand has been enjoying himself out here in the south of France. But Kai Evans, well, let's give him his moment of glory here in the World Rugby Under-20s Championship. It's his stage and his kick and his penalty to open the account for Wales. Taking his time, just judging this blustery wind. Evans kept his head down over the top of the ball, and Rory, you're a bit of a golfer yourself, and that was a sweet strike from Kai Evans.
It was a beautiful strike, straight down the middle of the sticks. As it is, from that angle, he was kicking straight into the wind. But one of those whereby, as you say, Scotty, you stand on that first tee with a driver, no matter what the wind's doing, when you hit it as flush as that, the wind does not touch it.
So Ritzy with the kickoff, fielded by Ryan Conbeer. Conbeer, who's played every minute for Wales in the 4 games so far. Kai Evans on that far side, but ball then finds the open side flanker, Daniel Davis. This small nugget of a flanker. Once again, ball just taken away there by Griggins. Wearing that head back.
They didn't survive, Flo.
Slow ball.
Calculated patience in the clearance, setting up the position for Harry Morgan. He struck his first box kick beautifully. It's another parlour.
Well, first hand on the ball was Ryan Conbeer, chased the ball well.
Back off red.
So back off red, as you heard from the referee Mike Sean Gallagher. There's the second row, Max Williams. Throw for Matteo Liccardi. Liccardi back to Casillo. Casillo with a loose pass, ricochets and intercepted by Lake, and Lake drives into the heart of the Italian defence and supported by Morgan. Evans. Italy once again, they're up there in the wide channel. Muscardi with the tackle. Evans steps back, looks to put a kick in, ricochets back, and then the first thing the Italians do is boot the ball downfield through Lamaro. And Lamaro, well, the way the ball bounced, it's going to have to be played there by Corey Baldwin.
Stop.
And Baldwin hasn't found touch, so number 8, Coffey, just feeds his winger, Donofrio. Donofrio is always a handful, the top try scorer in this tournament. Ritzy, well, the ball knocked on in midfield there. And an opportunity spurned by the fullback, Biondelli.
Certainly was. Just the pass from Antonio Ritzy, just drifting in the wind right in front of Biondelli. This was the end of it there. Just pushed out in front, trying to pick it up off his shins, couldn't quite get his hands to it, but just goes to show you've got to really look after possession. Kai Evans there went to kick it underneath the wind, but it ended up rebounding off an Italian, landing at the feet of the skipper Michele Lamaro, who found a great outcome and has managed to get Italy a little bit of field position, albeit with a Welsh scrum put in.
Crouch.
So feeding the scrum is the
Bind.
Harry Morgan,
Set.
18 years of age. Also talk about him potentially being in 3 World Rugby Under-20s Championship. But a good scrum from Wales.
Powerful scrum from Wales. Really good stuff. You touched on Harry Morgan. Really impressed me against Japan. Just a really good basic skill set. And talk in Wales that he's got a really big future for both the Under-20s and potentially further honours.
Big scrum here for Wales. They've had 29 scrums, they've lost 8. 43 scrums Italy have won, they've lost 3, so there'll be a tight contest in the scrummaging department. Wales cut the line out. Up at the front goes Rhys Davis. Kai Evans, well, looks slightly forward from the pass of Max Llewellyn as Morgan goes in at scrum half. Evans stepping back against the Grain Jan Nicholas. Davis.
Release, Flo.
So Nicholas, the skipper, called for the ball to go down that blind side. And now Baldwin teased the defence. Slightly slow ball there, but Coleman takes the ball on. Evans finds the imposing figure of Rhys Carey. Well, there's a call to go down that short side. Evans, well, they threw the pass, but as we could see, the Italians were a mile offside.
Ahead of the ball, he's obstructed the player.
Yeah, I think it was an early tackle there given, but the line speed from Italy, the intent that they're showing to get off the line and put this Welsh attack under pressure, just over enthusiasm I think it was potentially the captain, Michele Lamaro, jumping out of line and putting in an early tackle. I think this is going to be too far for Kai Evans to go at goal, so he's shaping to put Wales into the corner. Beautiful strike.
Yeah, nice play by Kai Evans. He's got a huge boot and he is pacey, but I felt first of all Coffey was on an offside position.
Lodovico Mani it was with the early tackle. I think you could have probably given a penalty for multiple indiscretions there, Scotty.
Woods comes in from Carey to Dowie Lake at hooker. Lake finds Davis. The line out operating well for this Welsh side, and the drive coming on for Wales at the back, and Morgan goes in to take ball away. And off the blind is Combier from the wing. Combier goes to deck, and good play here and building blocks from Max Williams. Ball slow at the back for Morgan. But it's held up, and it is over the line, so it will be a Welsh put-in.
Max Williams getting very close. Looks like it might have been, you see the number 10 jersey there, the work done by Antonio Rizzi, one of the smaller men on the field, but he managed to get underneath Williams, hold him up. I thought there was an opportunity off the maul for Harry Morgan to get sniped round the side. As it was, they obviously had a play that they had called already. But good field position, building this pressure.
Sorry, Rory, that man there, Kerry, going down for his 20th appearance in a World Rugby Under-20s Championship, but you spotted Antonio Rizzi, 21st cap at this level. Remember, these two teams played each other in the Six Nations, and it was Italy who came away with a famous win at Colwyn Bay. They won that game by 7 points to 18.
Hold the way.
Wales rather stunned with that loss in the Six Nations, because it gave Italy their first ever win.
Yeah, and they've got a fine group of players coming through. Conor O'Shea, obviously the man in charge of Italian rugby now. He is excited about the future for the Italian clubs and country. A number of these young men on show this afternoon have big futures ahead.
Well, Evans is standing in the pivotal position, but making a nuisance of himself is Combier, who comes in off. But the nudge is good from this Welsh pack as they drive towards the line. The ball pops back. Morgan to Combier, and Combier off that wing. He positions himself superbly as Ryan Combier opens up the scoring for Wales.
Yeah, and a smart finish. Penalty advantage was coming, and boy did they take advantage. Ryan Combier, second try of the tournament, dotted down against Argentina as well, and came into this game having beaten 14 defenders. You can see why, just this fight through the collision there, the tackle of Damiano Mazza, but he burst through to finish off and stretch Wales's lead.
Wales 8, Italy 0, so Kai Evans with the opening penalty. The try by Combier. And now can Evans add the additional 2 points? Keeps his head down, and he does, so a confident start by Wales. 10 points to 0 in the lead they go.
Yeah, strong start, and the try off the back of a powerful and dominant scrum once again. Conbier's got no right to break through there, but as it is, the Italian back rowers had to stay in the fight. Damiano Mazza, the inside centre, missed the first up tackle. Conbier dots down.
Ritchie with the restart. Combier, the try scorer. A little bit of a hesitation there in the defence is Goodchild at full back for Wales, takes the ball on. Well, Combier's got a little bit of space coming down the wing here. Steps inside, does well, but wrapped up in the tackle by Kanoni. Evans, well, it was a flat pass. It's bounced handily in midfield, as taking a little spin is Muscarati. Rizzi stops and burls now. Can he get the support? Looked as though it was a tip tackle with Christian Coleman turning the player around. There's another high tackle there as well. You almost felt Ritchie got put through the 90 degrees there.
He's stayed down. He's just slowly making his way back to his feet. We just have to be a little bit careful of these tackles. This one there, as it was a two-man tackle between both Dowie Lake, the hooker, and Chris Coleman, the tight head prop. And that second one there, Rhys Carey, high shot to Cannoni.
9. Or just wait. Just wait. Okay.
They're having a look at the TMO.
Well, Sean Gallagher's going to have to jog over to the screen at the side of the pitch here. No big screen on pitch 2 here at the Stade de la Méditerranée in Béziers. So there's a giant screen.
So well,
let's see, just a
46-inch
screen that he's now looking at.
Number 1, red.
Okay.
Philippe Bonheur. Dangerous tackle by Rhys Carey. It's the one that we saw here on, there you go, he just doesn't drop his hips. Cannoni has dropped his body height. Carey hasn't dropped his, and you can see it's a high shot above the shoulder.
Okay.
Those are all the angles, Sean.
So for me, Philippe, I'll tell you what I'm seeing. Number 1 red is trying to make a tackle. He uses his arms. Blue is also going down in the tackle. The contact is high, so it's going to be a yellow card.
Correct.
Okay, 1 red.
Well, Rhys Carey will be heading to the Naughty Boys chair. There he is.
1.
He's a big unit, 190
You
centimetres, 120 kilograms. Let's listen in.
Yellow card.
Went high into the contact, yellow card then.
Do you want the penalty here or here?
Yeah, and the mitigation working in his favour there was that Cannoni was going down. He did wrap his arms.
Okay. 4
but
blue,
it was a
4.
high shot, and anything above the shoulder, you're in real danger. Carey's paid the price. 10 minutes in the sin bin.
For 4.
So there's a little bit of attention coming here from Nicola Cannoni. I don't think they're happy with him. They just want to maybe have a head injury assessment on him.
The Italian bench warming up down in the dead ball area, so it's taken Matteo Canali a little while to come across and replace Nicolo Cannoni.
High tackle.
Interesting decision here, Scotty.
Yeah, Italy opting just to stick one down in the corner. Remember, win behind as well. Matteo Canali.
Step.
So Canali on the pitch with the distinctive red headguard. Rhys Davis looks on. Amato Lucardi at hooker. He's gone to his blind side. Ludovico Mani and Italy driving towards that Welsh line. It's well set here. They've got numbers there. They've got momentum.
Advantage.
Wales come in from an offside position to stop the Italian drive. So an advantage, a free ball.
6th entry.
Loud blast of the whistle is against Lennon Greggins, who came in from an offside position, side entry, and Ritchie going for the corner. So very much pressure on here for Wales as Italy will look to drive from the line out once again.
You can see why Michele Lamaro, the Italian captain, backs his pack. They pride themselves on the maul. They set up a really good platform there, and it was only a interjection by Lennon Greggins that stopped it at that occasion. Here we go, second time round.
Canali drives for the line and in over. Was it spilt? Canali took the ball from the line out. The ball came back. It was a drive from Ludovico Mani. He's disappointed. I think he's spilt that as he's gone over the line.
Okay. Time off. Philippe. Try yes or no. And I want you to also go back to the maul to make sure there was no obstruction, please.
Yes, we check. Try yes or no.
So based on the body reaction, Antoine Coffey, the Italian number 8, came away and clapped his hands, but not in a way that he was celebrating. He slapped them together as if to say, we've let one go there. It looked like he was in control at the back of the maul.
There was no obstruction at the maul formation.
Lost the control of the ball.
Okay, perfect. No try, knock on. Perfect blue.
I think I've done a disservice to Coffey there. There's another member of his pack who had control but lost forward.
12.
Ludovico Mani, the man who was in charge, didn't look after the ball, and it was odds on that Italy were going to go over. Is an opportunity gone.
Rhys Carey being on the bench, a front row replacement has to come on, and that's the shape of Rhys Davis, and the sacrificial lamb is Max Llewellyn.
Come up. Hold
Son
your weight.
of Gareth Llewellyn, the second row. And he is a tall, rangy centre, young Max Llewellyn.
Crouch!
So Wales
Bind! Set!
scrumming 5 metres from their own line. Italy looking strong. Morgan feeds from the back, and Kai Evans, he was standing, well, just inches over the dead ball line. He's made a good clearance there.
Yeah, he's done well. Interesting that they just go first phase, base of the scrum,
On the line. Blue.
into Evans's hands and kick. Italy with that one-man advantage now will just look to camp down here and really squeeze this Welsh side. It's incredibly difficult to exit from into this strong breeze.
Ball once again to Mani, who leapt high there. He manages to get the offload, and Italy looking to get possession off the deck. That's the 22-metre line. Italy drive over. Casillo to Rizzi. All hands to Mascaradi. Mascaradi steps out the tackle. Good play here. Rizzi finds his winger. Well, was there a step and foot in touch? There was, as Fusco went down the line. Touch judge's flag is up, and that attack comes to nothing for the Italians.
Ryan Combier doing well on this left flank. Let's remember, Max Llewellyn, the number 12 for Wales, has had to be taken off in order to cover for the fact that Rhys Carey is in the sin bin. It was on the opportunity on the outside, but he does really well. Ryan Combier to get to Alessandro Fusco, get him into touch. But important now that Wales just take a moment, understand, just to look after the possession. They've got 6 minutes 23 seconds left of Carey being in the sin bin. They need to use that wisely, even if it does mean looking after the ball for a number of phases inside their own 22. It's such a difficult area. I can't overemphasize how difficult it is to kick the ball into this wind.
Well, concern there for Dowie Lake. Made his debut for Ospreys off the bench in April in the Pro 14, but taking the ball for the line out. So running repairs mean that Lake will be able to take his throw. Oh, the overthrow comes, the ball bounces, and well, managing to get hands on the ball was Parry. Mani, Casillo, he's got Rizzi there. There's numbers over, but it was a loose pass. It's ricocheted off the boots of the Italians, and you really felt if they'd been crisper in the passing down the backs there was an opportunity for Italy to go down that left-hand flank.
Absolutely no doubt about that, Scott. Michelangelo Biondelli in the outside channel there, just throwing his arms in the air as if to say, hit my hands, and I'm running into space, as well as having Giovanni Donofrio, the tournament's top try scorer, outside me. He'd love another try to take him out on top. Just an opportunity gone. However, they've got a second chance at it. Perfect position for a scrum here. If I'm the Italian scrum half, you've got a 20-metre blindside, and Wales are one man down defensively. There's spaces almost everywhere.
So Niccolò Casillo from the Rugby Calvisano club in the north of Italy. Fusco takes a position, but they go down the left. Ritzy, there's numbers over here. Donofrio goes for the corner. Donofrio, he's the top try scorer in the World Rugby Under-20s Championship, and he's in it again. Superb hands from the Italian backs.
And there you go, that's what happens when you get it right. Giovanni Donofrio takes the top position in the try-scoring charts, his 6th of the tournament. He goes one above Wandesili Similani. Good wide pass, initially from Ritzy, and secondary from Moscardi, the outside centre. Moscardi puts on a plate, gives him a one-on-one against, I think it was Kai Evans, and no, it was Joe Goodchild in the outside channel. Donofrio, too sharp a finisher, takes his opportunity and closes the gap for Italy. Again, just highlighting those, Scott. One man down defensively, Wales. Just that 5 metres extra width. Donofrio only needs a couple of those metres and he takes the opportunity.
Antonio Ritzy with the conversion attempt from wide out. Donofrio with his 6th try of this World Rugby Under-20s Championship. Ritzy with the conversion, and the conversion is good, and there's 3 points between the teams. Italy have responded to the early try by Wales. The score 10 points to 7.
Making Wales pay for the sin bin. Wales just walking back up to the halfway line, keen on seeing that clock kick down. But Italy, just the reaction that Fabio Rosselli, the head coach, would have liked to have seen from his team. Couple of inaccuracies, but that one, first phase attack off the scrum, a 7-pointer, and they're back in the game.
Kai Evans once again, plenty of height on that ball, plenty of length. Look at the distance he's got on that. Biondelli thought about the clearance kick. There is wind behind, but coming round the corner is Mancini Parry. Casillo, that scrum half. Ritzy's screaming for the ball. Well, getting in the way there was Canati or Canali as Casillo tried to release the ball to Ritzy. Ritzy now has to go in to that scrum half position.
Use it.
So Ritzy spots a gap. Ritzy, good tackle that came in from Daniel Davis to down the Italian fly half.
Use it now.
Just slow ball at the base then. Clearance kick comes in from Italy. And Ritzy, well, he almost escaped there, didn't he? But it was a tremendous tackle by Daniel Davis.
Brilliant tackle from Davis, but you've got to question the Italians' tactics here. Playing 4 or 5 phases against a strong Welsh defence when they've got a 30-mile-an-hour wind at their back. They've already shown their ability to squeeze Wales with territory, but that time there, Wales really sharp to the threats of the Italian side, looking to play from inside their own 22, but they themselves now have the territory.
Great take there by Williams. Picked up in midfield by Johan Nicholas. Little step and go, and Basham bashes the ball up in the contact area. Great little driving play by Dowie Lake, and straightens the line. He's recovered from his earlier knock.
Okay.
Evans, oh, he's sharp there. He gets the inside pass to Harry Morgan, and strong rugby here from the Welsh under-20 side. There's numbers left if they can get the ball, but it was Max Williams who had to cut back against the grain. They're standing over Davis. Davis, did he have enough momentum? It looked as though he did. He did. And Daniel Davis in for a 2nd try for Wales.
And the 14 men of Wales making Italy pay the price for not exiting out the 22 from the kickoff. That man, Dan Davis, the Scarlet, goes over and finishes off a great bit of play, but it was beautiful stuff. Initially really direct, 8, 9 and 10 combining. And there you go, he just rides the tackle, fights through the tackle of Alessandro Fusco initially, gets back to his feet, wriggles over, and stretches the Welsh lead again. It all came off really nice play from Kai Evans, picking his head up, seeing an opportunity, inside ball to Harry Morgan. Tane Basham, the number 8, close in support, but Dan Davis finishes it off. And Wales lead 15-7 with a conversion to come.
Played for the under-18s last year and slots the 2 points for the additional conversion. So Wales respond well to that Italian try. They extend their lead. Wales 17, Italy 7.
Just a little bit tactical naivety from Italy for me. Played a lot of phases inside their own half, and then a poor exit gave Wales the platform, and the 14 men now back to 15. They capitalised, didn't they do well?
Another good take by Ryan Combier. He does well, doesn't he? He is strong down that left flank. Tain Basham, that number 8 for Wales, and Harry Morgan, he was looking to shape again. I think Combier had given a wee shout. He fancies like a little chase for this kick down that left flank.
Italy with 5 in the backfield waiting for this kick.
So Combier misses it. It is taken though by Fusco. Fusco gets the inside pass. Casillo, it's slow ball at the bottom. Rhys Carey making an absolute nuisance of himself as Casillo taps and goes himself. Gets the offload there. Tiachezi. Numbers once again out wide and putting the ball through the hands is Maza, but it's a knock-on from this big strapping centre. Forward pass, in fact, the referee's saying.
I didn't see that one, but I think it was Captain Lamaro running a good angle. Damiano Mazza, that man in the headgear. I wasn't sure whether he had just struggled to take it or if it was the forward pass. But Italy looking to go quickly. Look at that stat there.
Okay, let's go.
Wales 67% possession. A lot of it has been inside their own half, but they've shown the patience, and boy, have they taken a couple of opportunities.
Go back.
And every time, Rory, you feel as though the wind is going to die down. It just picks up again, and you know, with that possession, playing into that wind, it is tricky also playing with the wind behind and in your backs.
Yeah, very much so. It's really been fascinating seeing the different tactics. I personally always loved playing into the wind. You knew exactly what you had to do. You had to try and play tempo, you had to keep a hold of the ball, but you've got to be really accurate in possession of the ball, because if you give anything up, it's just such an easy exit for the other team. What Italy have shown so far, they've wanted to keep the ball in hand, they've wanted to keep the tempo high, but they've not exited terribly accurately. That last try for Wales coming off the back of a poor exit, and Wales capitalising.
Harry Morgan then feeding the scrum, star of Wales under-18s last year. Had a tremendous win over Japan. Over England in that under-18s. He scored a good try against Japan as well. Wales winning that one by a single point. Evans decides to clear with his right foot.
Just keeping things really simple. Not an easy kick, that one. Right foot to left touchline. Angled his body well and struck it nicely, but again, Italy just camped down in this Welsh half. They've gone for a 6+1 line-out again.
Wales, of course, got their competition off to a cracking start, beating Australia by 26 points to 21. Italy also got a victory over Scotland by 27 points to 26, and with 2 wins in the group stages, Italy, they come into this final game full of confidence, knowing that they've beaten Wales in the Six Nations.
No.
Gizzi in the second row. Ball's taken on. This is Ritzy, quick hands there to Maza. Maza always attracts the attention of his opposite number. Casillo into Ludovico Mani, this tall blindside flanker for the Italians.
Release one.
Ritzy, the mistake came in, and the knock on by Lamaro. Well, there's a chance there. Greggins to release the ball, but that one has been overcooked.
That's what I think is his first mistake of the afternoon, Harry Morgan. The right idea, opportunity was on.
Match the
All came from the turnover.
Get your numbers right.
Just the ball bouncing off Michele Lamaro, the captain's chest, and it was Lennon Greggins on the charge.
Okay.
Ritzy looks for coffee.
Advantage. Right.
Offside given.
What's the number?
By referee Sean Gallagher.
4 on the arm. On the arm.
Okay, so is Rhys Davis intervening at the line out. There's Rhys Davis, born in Swansea.
Sean Gallagher very clear. On the arm, you cannot interfere with the player in the air. Rhys Davies, the only man in the starting 15 out who plays his rugby outside of the Welsh regions. Bath rugby player.
That's the centre. Bring them with you.
It didn't come to anything on that occasion, but Dan Davis, the number 7, he's a great scavenger, a really fine athlete, dangerous over the top of the ball.
Matteo Lucardi overthrows that one again, with the wind just taking that one into the hands of Dowie Lake. Morgan will shape for the clearance kick. Combeer waits down that left-hand channel again. There's Combeer chasing the ball. It's hanging up in the wind as Biondelli takes a good ball from the full-back.
Tackle! Tackle!
Fusco tries to go in and make some good ground to get some momentum. Casillo goes in. Frischetti, Ritzy eyes another opportunity. Tackle by Coleman. Casillo. Donofrio, well, there's a high tackle. Casillo. For Italy going through on the man.
There's the skipper, Lamaro, going off his feet at the ruck. Just a little bit over exuberant into that contact. Italy just really frustrating at the moment. A little bit reckless with possession, losing a touch of discipline. And with the wind at the backs, they really need to start getting this scoreboard ticking over. Just looking at the body language of some of the guys. Antonio Coffey, the number 8, so frustrated. You see there the carry by Yatsi, and there's this. You see the 7 in the corner of the screen. Watch him here, in he comes, straight off his feet. You can't be doing that, skipper Lamaro.
Wales on the far side through Dowie Lake. Finds a great feed from Greggins, and then taking up the ball is Basham in the middle, and Morgan goes in. Quick ball here for Kai Evans. The skipper Nicholas Combeer, slide of foot. Coffey comes across with a good tackle. Morgan has to go looking for the ball. Then the charge by Rhys Davis. Kai Evans getting good service and stepping in. His team Basham in the middle once again, and Wales starting to mix it up, bringing it back down the blind side through Johan Nicholas.
Advantage.
Another advantage being played, so free ball for Rhys Davis to take the ball on. He gets bundled in. The soccer kick comes in from Coffey, but no advantage had accrued from the early infringement.
It's another high shot, Scott. They're so clear. This one going against Danilo Fischetti, the loose head prop. It was on Johan Nicholas, the Welsh captain. Just a really easy penalty for Sean Gallagher to give. We've got the Welsh coaches alongside us up here, and the immediate shout goes for the corner, understanding Kai Evans striking the ball beautifully, but it's a long way out. There you go. It's not a dangerous tackle as such, but it's just high. Just got to drop your hips, hit around the chest area. It's another little bit of ill discipline.
Well, Rory, it's been a feature of this World Rugby Under-20s Championship. We've seen a lot of tackles going up above the shoulder. Of course, there's a zero tolerance attitude from World Rugby to referee this with a consistent approach. Wales from the line out play. Morgan goes in. Coming back on the short angle is Llewellyn. Oh, Christian Coleman, he just had to duck there. He was almost man and ball, and Wales driving once again. Gregan's doing the hard work, and then Nicholas played every single minute. The charge for the line. Now, can Wales finish this half strongly? They've built the possession. This is the 6th phase. Davis, Daniel Davis, the try scorer earlier on for Wales. He has another little dink. This time, Max Llewellyn goes from the inside centre. Kai Evans is calling for the ball, but it's slow. So Kerry, the pick and drive from Rhys Davis in the second row. Once again, Wales go round the corner, driving for the line. Patient play here from the youngsters of Wales. Rhys Davis goes, he gets the drive from Max Williams, who goes over as well. Morgan interception, Rizzi read it, but it was from an offside position. Antonio Rizzi.
Rizzi, the predator. He's trying to plead with the referee to say, I was onside, I'm just really quick, sir. Have a look at it.
Evans decides to go for the quick tap and go, and Rhys carries the ball to within 2 meters of that Italian line. Rhys Davis once again with another carry in the second row for Wales. There wasn't held. Well, that could be a yellow card. Ludovico Mani came out and took his man off the ball.
You can't play the scrum half like that. Let's see what the referee has to say.
That's 2 penalties right at the goal line, 10 blue offside, and then you take out the scrum half, it's a yellow card. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, Harry Morgan taken right off the ball by that man there, Ludovico Mani.
He didn't have the ball in his hand.
You can tell he knows
Scrum.
he deserves his 10 minutes in the sin bin. Coming straight through on Harry Morgan, understanding he had to shut it down. See what Wales do here. They're shaping for the scrum, understanding they're either going to come up again. Let's just see.
Let's go.
Again, Italy this time dropped to 14. Will they scrum with 7 or will they go with
Stability now. Same
one
as
man
last
down
week.
in the back line? Looks like they're going to scrum with 7. Wales will look to put the 8-man shove on them initially and then potentially find a little chink in the defence.
Well, interesting setup in the midfield as Max Llewellyn is taking up a position. Kai Evans is a couple of yards behind him. The scrum spins round, but ball comes out the back. Combier has to have a wee go, but he's well wrapped up there.
Still advantage red.
So an advantage being played. As Wales lose the ball.
I think the penalty going against the tight head. Mancini Parry stepping out in the scrum. There's no doubt in my mind Wales will go for the scrum again. They had the dominance there. If Italy aren't going to put 8 men in, Donofrio coming in from his left wing. I don't know if he's going to join the scrum or if he's just having words with his forwards to say push harder. And he is.
Just come up a small bit.
He's on his way back out to his wing. I'm not sure how much the forwards will have taken on board, but my goodness, they were under pressure there.
Italy conceding 8 penalties in this opening half so far. And Harry Morgan, this lively scrum half. The loose head Rhys Carey
Fine.
of the Cardiff Blues. So Wales looking to produce some strong finish here. Ryan Combier comes off the wing, but it's turned once again. That penalty count climbs up towards the double figure mark.
I'm off.
Let's just listen in to Sean Gallagher and what he says to the captain, Michele Lamaro.
when there's pressure on, you have to make sure that you stay down, okay? He's going forward and you're pulling out of the contest. You need to make sure you stay down and legal.
Well, Mancini Parry, he's up against a pretty imposing figure in Roosh Carey, who carries 128 kilograms into that scrum. So he's at 10 kilograms heavier than his opposite number.
He's a big rig. And for me, this writing could be on the wall a little bit here for Italy. Again, they've gone with a 7-man scrum against this Welsh. Sean Gallagher's made it very clear. As the pressure comes on, you cannot step out Mancini Parry. So if Wales get the upper hand here, I'd be very surprised if Sean Gallagher doesn't go under the posts.
Into the gap.
Crucial
Come up.
into this first half. 2 converted tries by Wales and a penalty by Kai Evans to the single converted try by Italy. They're leading by 17 points to 7. And if they can extend the lead just before half-time, that will give them a huge boost going into the sheds.
Bind! Set!
Once again, the pressure comes on from Wales, and once again, the scrum turns round.
No. Stop. 3.
Well,
3.
don't tell me he's going to go at the bin. He is.
No.
Michele Mancini Parry is sent to the bin, so Italy with 2 players
Not straight, number 3.
down. Now there's real pressure that's going to come on.
He made his point, and referee Gallagher sends that man to the bin. Mancini Parry just stepping out as the pressure comes through from big Rhys Carey. Again, the change has to be made, so Italy down to 13. The right winger, Alessandro Fusco, is giving way for the tight head replacement, Matteo Nocera.
Nocera's a big unit.
Come up. Yeah. Stay straight.
So trying times for this Italian team. You feel as though there's inevitability about the end to this first half that Wales surely will get a try. One more penalty in their favour from this scrum. It may well be a penalty try.
Set!
Ball's in at the back. Once again, the drive comes round. And once again, and there's no option for Sean Gallagher. It is a penalty try. And sheer delight amongst the Welsh pack as they see out the half by 26 points to 7. The conversion will be good. I'm showing 24-7, but
of course, no conversion needed. It's an immediate 7-pointer for the penalty try.
So 24 points to 7. Is the final score of the first half. Join us for more action in the second half of this World Rugby Under-20s Championship 7th place playoff game in 10 minutes time.
Mesdames et messieurs, donc mi-temps dans cette rencontre, je vous disais à l'instant, donc entre le Pays de Galles et l'Italie. All time from Wales, Italy. Le score donc, je le rappelle, 24 pour le Pays de Galles, 17 pour l'Italie. Wales 24, Italy 7. On vous rappelle le point sur les scores depuis le début de cette journée avec ce matin le premier match, l'Irlande qui se qualifie pour les prochains championnats du monde en battant le Japon. Et actuellement 24-7 pour le Pays de Galles dans ce troisième match. On rappelle les rencontres qu'il y a, une rencontre qui se joue Actuellement, c'est la petite finale qui oppose l'Afrique du Sud à la Nouvelle-Zélande. Le match a commencé depuis 20 minutes et puis il y aura le bon match entre l'Angleterre.
Advantage. Three. Late. Late. Advantage. Advantage.
Fucking excellent, Tommy, go again!
Advantage. Advantage.
Fucking excellent!
Welcome back to the World Rugby Under-20s Championship. This is the match between Wales and Italy. We're at the Stade de la Méditerranée in Béziers, and the 7th place playoff match has pitted Wales against Italy. The half-time score is Wales 24, Italy 7. So a convincing start for this Welsh team. 3 tries, the third of which right on half-time was a penalty try. And a penalty and 2 conversions added by that man there in the middle, Kai Evans. And then Italy looking to respond accordingly, but they'll be playing into a stiff breeze, the wind from behind.
Okay, you ready?
So the second half underway. The final match between these two teams is for the 7th place position in this World Rugby Under-20s Championship match. Is the captain of the Italian team, Michele Lamaro, as takes the ball from the kickoff. A strong wind that every now and again picks up. This is Rizzi to Biondelli, wearing the distinctive headguard, the Italian full-back. Coffey goes into secure ball, but
second man in rock form.
A penalty against Wales.
Yeah, and Italy starting this half in possession, but they're going to have to do it the hard way. You see above the icon, the scoreboard at the top there, above Italy, 2 yellow cards. They're doing it with 13 men at the moment, and they'll do so for the first couple of minutes of this second half. 2 forwards in the bin with Mani and Mancini Pari. Important that they just try and look after possession for the opening exchanges and work their way back into this game. You can see already slow coming into the line out, just looking to see that scoreboard tick down on the yellow cards.
So confirmation that Italy have 2 players in the sin bin. And we'll just want to wind down the clock as Matteo Leccardi goes in and takes the ball on. And
don't change your mind.
Danilo Freschetti, this large loose head prop. But Italy losing the possession in the drive. And Wales delighted with the work through that big second row. Rhys Davis.
Rhys Davis getting through on Matteo Leccardi, the Italian hooker.
Thank you.
Couple of the Italian players coming out of that maul, gesticulating to both the referee and the assistant referee on this near side. Michele Lamaro, the Italian captain, having a word with Sean Gallagher. Disappointed to see them all go to ground. And Rhys Davies getting through on that maul, tying the ball in, winning his side of scrum.
Let's go. Hope you come a small bit more.
So Wales are the 7th seeding and Italy the 8th seeding. So scrum's about to go down. The feed by Harry Morgan, this fiery little Welsh scrum half who can ignite this game.
Nice little blindside here as well, Scott, if they get a right-hand shoulder. Lamaro on his own.
Kai Evans, and rightly so, just uses the win, but Donofrio has this one. Top try scorer in this competition for Italy.
Beautiful
with 6.
offload.
Fantastic into Mazza. Mazza.
Advantage.
Yeah, Mascaradi just spilt ball there, and disappointment for the Italians as yet another move breaks down.
9.
Interesting decision. You can see tactically Kai Evans looking for a kicking outcome there, but putting it straight down the throat of Donofrio, who did really, look at that for a cheeky little offload.
Let's go.
But it just broke down here.
What's wrong?
Ball coming loose
You need attention.
from Matteo Mascardi.
Okay, time off, Philippe.
Wales have another chance against still the 13 men of Italy.
Just tell your players to be calm. Okay, number 11, he's waving his hands.
So another break and play for Danilo Freschetti, who's Fisetti, I should say, who's getting some treatment on the ground once again.
He's okay? Good. Okay, time on. Okay, time on.
There he is, the man from Rugby, Calvisano, restored to the action, brought back into the team for this match. Missing the previous game against Australia. Italy lost that one by 15 points to 44, whilst Wales in the previous game lost by 15 points to 39 over Argentina. So it looks as though Wales are bouncing back strongly. Ludovico Mani looks on, ready to come on.
This is the sort of set piece you get excited about as an attacking back. There is the midfield in place for Italy. I'm likely to see the Welsh scrum have a real go at the Italians, who are obviously short of numbers. Looks to me like, yeah, they're packing down with 7 again. Midfield made up of fly half of the 2 centres. Donofrio on our near side here, out looking to close the gate on the Welsh attack.
Set!
So Kai Evans standing in the fly half position while he kicked the previous possession. Max Llewellyn's just outside him, but the missed pass was to Nicholas, but a loud blast of the whistle is against Wales for bringing down the scrum. And
Leave it, go back, captain. Captain, bring your players back.
well, a bit of unrest there amongst the Welsh team.
Leave it.
And there's an Italian player still down on the ground, so they're feeling aggrieved there, Rory. Did you see what happened?
No, it didn't. Frustration's boiling over. Obviously, the Italians would have been ramped up having won that scrum penalty. I think it was given against Chris Coleman, the big tight head prop for Wales. Looked like Sean Gallagher suggested that he had dropped his bind and gone to ground. He's going to have a look with the TMO, I think.
Okay. Philippe? Okay, foul play by number 1, blue.
So Danilo Fischetti.
What are we looking at, please, Philippe?
Look at the right knee of the 1 blue.
Okay.
This doesn't sound
His
great.
right knee. Look now. In the back of the number 5 red. No, 3 red. Look at the knee. His right knee.
Philippe
Kick
Bonheur.
in the back of the 3 red.
Well, he's gone.
Okay,
He's deliberately kneed Christian Coleman in the back there.
Those are all the angles.
You can't be doing that, Scott.
So what I've seen is number 3 blue has put his knee into the back. So number 1 blue has put his knee into the back of the red player who is on the ground. I don't think there's very much force involved in it. Do you think there's much force involved in the knee?
Certainly, I was going to mention that it was about the force. There wasn't a huge amount of force in it.
Just leave it away.
It's just
Just
dull, isn't it?
just a penalty, or do you think he'll
One.
sanction
Come
more?
Just go back.
Let's listen in. Sean Kennedy, Sean Gallagher, sorry, the referee. Let's listen into his explanation to Danilo Fischetti.
For a collapse. After the scrum collapsed, you put your knee into the back of the red player who was on the ground. Okay, so it's going to be a yellow card. Okay, off you go.
Well, he's frustrated. I know. 3 yellow cards for Italy. Jeepers.
He's pleading innocence, but you can't be doing that. It's just dull. He's now reduced his side to 12 men against Wales. There was a penalty had gone their way for a strong scrum. He's trying to make his point against his opposite man, Chris Coleman, the Welsh tight head. My goodness. A brain explosion there from Danilo Fischetti. And that naughty chair is becoming overpopulated.
Yeah, Ludovico Mani, the first one sent to the sim, so he's back on. So that's them
We'll wait.
to 13.
Okay.
I don't know if I think I've ever seen 3 players in the sin bin in a game I've commentated on. Back to the action now. It's up to Wales. Can they capitalise? Dowie Lake with the throw finds Lennon Greggins. And now the ball taken on. Wales looking for quicker ball this time. Morgan gets the play on to
Away now, leave it 8!
Dowie Lake. Morgan once again to Dan Davis. Dan Davis. Another charge from Basham at number 8. Lake again with his second carry in this movement.
Away, Blue!
Williams had taken the ball, and there he is. He gets the ball back into Morgan. Now, can Wales put some spark into this movement?
Play.
As Tane Basham comes back in against the Italian defence. And,
Leave it, Flood.
well, there's a little bit of play on the deck and trying to relieve play as Muscadi, but it's covered by Kai Evans. Evans looking down the short side. Oh, he didn't find his man, and Donofrio loses the possession. It's all a little bit scrappy down this near side. Just getting a little, there's a bit of edge in this game, isn't there?
It really is. Harry Morgan just going across to Donofrio, the try-scoring machine. He managed to dislodge the ball in the tackle. Came across and said, "There you go, son." Here he goes. Here's Donofrio, tucked under the right arm. Morgan with a tackle, left shoulder, straight onto the ball. Dislodged it. He just went across and said, "Not this time, son." But Italy, Scott, you know, you touched on it. The discipline is the big frustration. It's really difficult for them to build their way back into this game with just 13 men. They're playing into a really strong breeze. Wales have had the lion's share of possession, 65% of possession in this game and in this half.
Everyone's all right?
Italy already more than 2 scores away from Wales. They've got to try and tighten things up, look after possession, get their discipline right, try and get themselves back into the game, because right at the moment Wales looking really comfortable.
So with players down, Matteo Liccardi's come off at hooking position. Nicolo Tadia has gone on, and also in off the bench
Crouch!
comes Guido Romano.
Bind!
And getting sacrificed on the far wing is Alessandro Fusco, who had to come off to allow a tight row forward to come in. Coffey in off the bench. He's tackled well there, and Casillo into Canali. So Italy showing a little bit of bite and fight in this game as Ludovico Mani loses possession. Llewellyn comes away with it, releases Nicholas. Nicholas loses possession, so the knock-on's coming thick and fast from either team.
It's error strewn, isn't it, Scott? Italy choosing to go to 5 backs with the 2 men in the sin bin, but just couldn't capitalise on the turnover. Theoretically there'll be space everywhere. They've got the wind at their backs, everything going their way, but just a lack of accuracy in possession. There's Johan Nicholas, carried there by Goodchild, but just being stripped to the ball in the contact. And Italy once again have the scrum. They've got all 13 men within 15 metres of width. They've got 8 in the scrum half obviously in close, and the 4 backs that are left out there standing, you could chuck a double bed size sheet over the top of them at the moment.
So just down below us, Mancini Parry is waiting to come on.
Set where you need to.
Mancini Parry just ready to come on, but he might well be substituted. Looks as he probably is going to be substituted.
Bind!
Guido Romano was on the bench.
Set!
On that tight head position.
Scrum's actually looked good since the 2 front rowers have come on.
Here's at 9.
So ball at the back. Well, there's only one option, isn't there?
Release!
Damiano Mazza takes the ball up, and you know, is now up to the forwards to do their duty as Tadia, the replacement hooker, comes on and takes on the ball, and Mazza once again, but it's almost taking the ball stationary, and
No hands now, Red.
because the ball's so slow, Wales are able to set the defensive line.
And they do, and it's the line speed, because Italy have got no width.
Oh.
Wales can be tight and just get off the line, put Italy under pressure. And there you go. They win the turnover from dominant defence. Italy back to 14 now, with Fusco coming back onto his right wing. But the Welsh defence just suffocating the life out of this tight Italian attack.
So Italy still with one man in the sin bin, and that man is Danilo Fischetti.
Player up, number 3. Player on.
Treatment to Rhys Carey. There's Fischetti, Rugby Calvisano club. This is his 20th cap. Was in Georgia last year, so really experience amongst this young Italian team.
Got so much power within the side, both Fischetti and Mancini Parry, as well as Hooker Lucardi in that front row. Big, powerful men, but they just lost their head a little bit today. Initially, it was Mancini Parry who got sin-binned on the tight head side under pressure of this Welsh scrum, and then Fischetti just with an brain explosion, having won his side a penalty, dropping the knee on Chris Coleman, the Welsh tight head. He saw yellow. 10 minutes in the sin bin, and Wales, with 30 minutes to go, have controlled this game.
Standing waiting to come on is David Ruggeri, who was dropped to the bench for this match. 19 last month. So midfield scrum for the Welsh. It's not been the most sparkling start to the second half.
Bind.
Wales in the lead, 24 points to 7. Harry Morgan feeds that scrum. It's looking solid.
Ball's out.
Ball set at the back, but Dan Davis caught with a knock-on. In fact, it was Greggins knocking the ball back. In fact, my apologies, Tane Basham, wasn't it, playing the 8 who knocked the ball on? I'll get it right, third time lucky.
Yeah, no, it was just the pressure of the Italian scrum.
Ready? Let's go.
These changes that we spoke about, the entire front row now on for Italy. Taddeo, Romano and Nocero driving square straight through, and Basham, difficult, under pressure. That ball skittling around in the second row's feet. Knock on. Italy almost back to their 15 now, but they must get themselves back into this game.
Too much weight.
Well, and what can you say? Another penalty. That's the 14th penalty that Italy have conceded in this match.
7.
So David Ruggeri comes on, and well, Kelly Lamaro, the captain, he'll be disappointed that he's going off, but some energy needed in the back row.
Hold the push.
Looks as though Lamaro got a knock earlier on and maybe being substituted, an injury substitution there.
Setterfield scrum, Scott. These are the sort of set piece attacks that I would get excited about as a scrum half. I would be saying to my number 8, get me down that blind side as it is. Here we go, Kai Evans calming things down, steps forward. Be surprised if he didn't just go for the corner here.
Surely Wales just have to go for the corner. They've been good in the line out.
Loose header, push.
Initially shaped for the left touchline, and I thought, no chance you're going to go that way. Surely come down to the right. The wind's blowing across his right shoulder here. He'll look to go deep into the Italian 22.
Yeah, down it goes into that 22. And Italy penned back once again in their own half. And we've known from the games we've watched on pitch 2 here at the Stade de la Méditerranée
Center.
that this wind is playing havoc in the second half especially.
Touched on the discipline, Scott. 14 penalties against Italy, 11 inside their own half. That one there, just simple. Guido Romano, the loose head prop, jumping the gun on the engage. It's a really easy free kick to give. Turns into a penalty. Wales deep in the Italian half.
Yeah, wrap-around move sees Carey take the ball into the heart of the Italian defence. This is great attacking ball for Wales as Kai Evans with quick hands feeds his captain Johan Nicholas. And cutting it back against the green is Tane Basham taking the ball on, and quick hands, and Nicholas looks once again, gets the offload there to Williams. Williams with a penetrative run, the big second row takes the ball on, and this man here, Rhys Davies, has also played well in the second row, carrying lots of ball on. Advantage being played. Evans, the overhead pass, surely there's a 2-on-1 here. The show and go is from Baldwin. Baldwin kind of tripped there as he went towards the Italian line. Morgan feeds Carey. Morgan once again. This is quicker ball from the Welsh, but offside in midfield. It's blown by Sean Gallagher and picked up, and
offside.
Well, as Harry Morgan gets the ball, surely he'll just tap and go, will he?
I think he'll slow things down here. Likely to go for the corner again. Kai Evans, I would say. Wales building pressure. Italy quick off the line, but they just jumped the gun. Penalty for offside on the back foot. Yep. Wales with another opportunity, and actually fell to Corey Baldwin, looking to dance his way through. It was well defended by Antonio Rizzi, the Italian fly half. But as it is, Wales continue to build the pressure, and surely at some stage this blue Italian dam is going to break.
So Danilo Fischetti is back on, as is Matteo Moscardi.
Finally, we've got 15 on 15, Scott. It's taken 25 odd minutes.
He's coming.
Dowie Lake then, 19 years of age, and he'll have the ball at the line out. Plenty of options there.
Time on.
Lennon Gregan's wearing that number 6 jersey, is taking plenty of ball in the line out for Wales. And the twin peaks of Rhys Davies and Max Williams, options in abundance for this Welsh team. And at the front, up goes Rhys Davies. The drive comes on, the ball back to Morgan. Well, it was a set plan move to go back down the blind side, but the Italians read it well. They snuffed out the space down there for Morgan. Dowie Lake was the pass made by Rhys Davies from the base. Wales just need to be patient here. But a turnover ball. Charge down kick.
Level.
Puts the ball back into the Italians. So Italy just making mistake after mistake. And then finally, having conceded 15 penalties, they've got one back. That's Wales' 7th penalty against the Italians.
It's a comedy of errors, Scott.
Thanks, no.
Really sharp turnover initially by Italy. Alessandro Fusco, the right winger, had the opportunity to kick it. Just took a little bit too long, was charged down, dropped into Rhys Davies' hands. Here's the kick here. This Fusco charged down by Conbeer's back. Rhys Davies on the charge. I think the penalty was just given against Rhys Carey, coming in
10
from the side of the ruck that followed
14,
up. Wholesale
14.
changes now being made. Opportunity for a number of the guys off the bench to finish this tournament with a run out and make an impact.
Well, Leston Harris is on the pitch, as is this man here, Thomas Reffel, the captain throughout the championship, and also in the under-20s championship, the Six Nations earlier on, and a mistake that comes in, and Italy are just imploding here.
They really are, and they've had ample opportunity to get themselves back into this game, but they're just really struggling for any sort of accuracy. Their discipline's let them down a number of occasions. That time there, nowhere near straight on the line out, albeit the conditions are tricky. You need to be a little bit credible down the middle of the line out, and Wales have just been camped inside this half.
So just confirmation of the changes there. And hooker Dowie Lake goes off as Harris comes on. And then Tommy Reffel is on. So Kai Evans now. The little chip kick chased there by Baldwin. Baldwin's got an opportunity here, but back saving the day for Italy, Michelangelo Biondelli.
Brave stuff from Biondelli. I'm not sure he understood how close the chasing pack were. It was Baldwin and Goodchild both bearing down on him.
Behind.
But he had the patience and confidence to wait until the ball went over his goal line to dot down, get a side of 22 rather than being carried over.
So Filippo Di Marco,
good kickoff.
In off the bench, and as we've often seen, those two fly half switch around. Ritzy off.
Away now, one.
Di Marco, he's on. Now Mazza, what can he do to straighten and get ball back? And Rhys Davies making an absolute nuisance of himself. I thought he got a good turnover ball there, but picked up by Sean Gallagher.
You can't kick the ball.
He did so well. Rhys Davies did everything he needed to do, but he just can't kick the ball. He only nudged it forward. If he had back-heeled it, Wales would have had possession. Even if he had just gone beyond it, someone else could have come in and snaffled it up. As it was, he just got his right boot onto it, having done all the hard work. You see, there's the carry by Matza.
Give me space.
And you look at the body position, drives through, gets beyond the ball. He's got supporting behind with Greggans, but he just put his right boot on it. Simple penalty to give away.
So Tadia with the line out throw. Castillo gets the ball back. Kofi, tremendous tackle by the blindside Greggans. Italy trying to probe this blindside, and Biondelli just puts the head down, but he's hit the tackle by Harry Morgan, who spilled ball, and once again Rhys Davies.
He's everywhere.
He's done tremendously well, hasn't he?
Advantage over.
Kai Evans feeds the longer pass, but Goodchild had to reach, so Nicholas comes back in against the grain. That's the 10-metre line. So Morgan, back he is again, but it was an offside from Italy.
Offside.
And Mazza penalised from an offside position there.
16 penalties I think Italy have given away.
Yeah, I see him.
Try 18, Rory.
18 penalties given away. It's just...
Needs checking this guy.
You can't get through a game and be in the fight if that's the sort of numbers that you're hitting, Scott. Again, that one there, Harry Morgan being taken out by the man coming through.
Rory, let's just build on this Italian performance, because it's been their worst performance of this championship. That 18 penalties, 3 yellow cards. You can't win international rugby if you're doing that.
Not without miracles, Scott. I think it's, you know, the way things have been, Wales have just kept themselves ticking over. They've not done a whole lot in this second half. Actually, I think it's still 0-0 for the second half. But as it is, they've not had to do much. Italy so well disciplined, 18 penalties to 8. So much of the rugby has been in their half. As it is, Kai Evans just wants to get this scoreboard ticking. They're aiming to clip over a penalty here and actually finally punish Italy for their indiscretions.
Well, the score at half-time was 24 points to 7. This will be the first score of the second half if Kai Evans gets this over. Kai Evans then from 40 metres, 15 metres in from his own line, he just steadies the ship. He's got a big boot in him, plays his rugby for the Ospreys down in Swansea. So Kai Evans, can he extend the Welsh lead? It's high, it's towering. And finally a score in the second half, greeted from the Welsh supporters here at the Stade Mediterranee on pitch 2.
He's had the ball on a string off the kicking tee this afternoon, Scott, and that a sweet strike. Geraint Lewis and his coach will be very keen for Wales to finish this final quarter of the game with a flurry, because they've not had a killer instinct with Italy down numbers with a sin bin. They've just kind of cruised their way through this third quarter. He'll be very keen to see them empty the tank and win handsomely.
Yeah, Dan Davis, the try scorer in the first half, takes the ball into the contact, but a turnover has been conceded, and well, Higgins just kicks the ball out of frustration downfield, and Sean Gallagher penalising the Welsh there.
It's not for the first time, Scott, that we've seen teams mess up their exit off kickoffs. They score points, they get the scoreboard ticking, receive the kickoff, and then they mess things up. And now Italy, this must be the first time they've been into the Welsh 22 in this half.
Well, Filippo Di Marco finds a good touch. There he is, this fly half who can really conjure up some action from that fly half position. So Tadia and Italy, the first incursion into that 22. Italy go down the blind side. Mani, wow, good defence there by Wales. They snuffed out Ludovico Mani, who went down that blind side with Coffey in support. There's Mani there, bundled into that touch. So good defence from Wales.
Harry Morgan receiving a couple of high fives from his teammates. Looks like Italy had seen an opportunity down the blind side with the smaller man Morgan guarding that area, but he put in a good shot and managed to bundle the Italian forward into touch.
He's not short of getting involved in the physical side of things. The tackles coming in thick and fast.
9 sub.
Yeah, he's a good shape. He's physical, throws what weight he has around. He's had a really good 63 minutes. Looks like he's about to give way now.
16. I'll get you the gap first.
For Dane Blacker, who's coming off the bench. There he is. But Harry Morgan's had a very good afternoon. He's controlled things from scrum half for Wales. He's been physical, turned up defensively when needed, kicked very well, in particular into the wind in the first half.
Yeah, I've enjoyed this young scrum half display, and I've been told an awful lot about him. So the beauty of these under-20s championships is that these players get exposure to international rugby and under-21, under-20 level, I should say, and he's done well. But Italy charging for the line. This is the first incursion into the Welsh 22 in the second half. They've got numbers there at the back. Canali with the head guard. Now it's Wales conceding penalties within the red zone. Casillo, ball in hand, and the thump and the drive by Nocera, but it's an offside for the Welsh.
No, different ball, wait. Offside.
Tell you what, Matteo Canali did brilliantly to win that line out from the Welsh throw-in at the front. Out jumped his opposite man.
Discipline.
Wales giving away the penalty, and once again Italy have the opportunity to try and close the gap. Becoming desperate now.
Canali once again leaps high, and Italy trying to set that drive. They're going to take the ball over the line here if they can get it. Downward pressure, yes it is.
Up easy, up easy.
And Italy have got a try. Wearing that number 16 jersey is Tadia, the replacement hooker. And you have to applaud Italy for sticking in there.
You really do, because my goodness, they've gone through some tough times in this game. Second try of the tournament. He scored the key try for Italy against Scotland in that match day 1 game that had them win 27-26 deep into injury time, and Nicolo Tadia has given Italy the lifeline.
Well, the Italian bench look on as the extras can be added from Filippo Di Marco. He's a good kicker, this fella. That wind just seems to have died off in this last 5-10 minutes or so. So DeMarco lines up the ball, pulls it in front of the posts. Well, it's given Italy some hope out the game because they were falling out the game, but Wales still leading by 27 points to 12. 14 minutes left on the clock.
It's a 3-score game, isn't it? My goodness, Italy have no right to be leading this second half. 5 points to 3, Scott, given the dominance that Wales have had, the numerical advantage that Wales have had, but they've just not had that killer instinct. They've coughed up a number of opportunities, they've been reckless in possession, and they've rather taken their foot off the gas, knowing that Italy were men down.
Matteo Mascardi fields the ball for Italy, and Italy just looking quite composed at the moment as Damiano Mazza just straightens the line, but he's lost the ball at the base, and Rhys Carey comes away with the ball. Blacker
Advantage over.
to the stepping Evans,
Away, 20
up
move.
and over to the 20-metre line. Thomas Reffel is in off the bench, as we mentioned, and Blicker at scrum half. New halfback. Dan, oh, he does superbly well, and striding in the line is Max Llewellyn. The try and pass by Dan Davis into Llewellyn for the try, and that literally came out of nowhere.
Really classy stuff. And finally, a real piece of quality. Max Llewellyn benefiting from, look at the vision there, Dane Blacker over the top. Dan Davis, you've got no right to do that. Donofrio, try-scoring machine there. But Dan Davis stands him up, fends off, goes round him, drags in the last defender, gives the inside pass to Llewellyn, and Llewellyn goes in to score a try for Wales. Lovely footwork from Davis. Standing up Donofrio, and Llewellyn, big smile on his face. Charging over for Wales' first try of this half.
Well, Kai Evans, 4 from 4, 3 conversions and a penalty so far. Can he keep that 100% record and slot the conversion of Max Llewellyn's try? Well, the one way you respond to the Italian score is you score yourselves, and Wales have done that. Evans draws it in nicely with that wind, and it's a third conversion for Wales. 4 tries, including that penalty try at the end of the first half. So Wales stretch their lead with 11 minutes on the clock. Wales 34, Italy 12, and the sub bench just about to be emptied. DeMarco with the restart.
Okay, play.
Kai Evans gets the offload. Conbeer on that far side always carries good yards. Greggins once again, he's impressed in that Welsh back row this afternoon.
It's okay.
Blacker, plenty of height on that. Conbeer, well, he had challenged
Don't kick it.
Casillo for that ball. So Italy up and over. The offload is good there from Corneli. Now Italy, well, Manny juggled with the ball. He managed to splinter that Welsh defence. Little dink kick there goes in from DeMarco, and DeMarco, well, ball was covered well by Joseph Goodchild. Goodchild steps and slips.
Advantage.
Ball comes back into the Italians though, and
Knock on red.
Biondelli, the recipient from the knock-on from Wales.
Close forward. No advantage.
It's like a bit of hot potato there, Scott. Neither side keeping the ball particularly well. Joe Goodchild did well to cover a nice little kick in behind by Filippo DeMarco. Initially juggling it, but it actually meant that Donofrio overran it. The opportunity came for Wales to go back up the other end.
1, 3,
Just
4.
a slightly forced offload from Goodchild, didn't go to hand. Knocked on. Italy have the scrum as both sides emptying their benches. We touched on it earlier in commentary. 5 games in 19 days. There'll be a lot of tired legs out there, and that has undoubtedly taken its toll on the players with a little bit of quality this afternoon. But in the final 10 minutes, these guys will be looking to finish with a flourish.
So Davis, Henry and Pope are on for Wales. In off the bench for Italy comes Guido Romano, a permanent replacement. Coffey still getting treatment at the side there. He took a heavy knock earlier on his ribs, as you can see. Just looking at Guido Romano, he's gone and pat down the prop forward in the second row.
Crouch! Bind!
Mackenzie's, he's moved out onto the flank, so
Set!
a prop forward in the second row. Well, we've seen a few things in this World Rugby Under-20s Championship. We've seen some fantastic scores. DeMarco gets the inside, beautiful. Donofrio, lovely little movement in midfield with Massa. So a creativity there from the Italian team. They're certainly going to play to the final whistle as Fischetti takes the ball on, but it's Wales with the penalty, and that's the 11th penalty that Wales have conceded. And DeMarco thumps one into the touch. Fischetti's still down again. He's been getting lots of treatment to that leg.
Wales again. It's just the line speed. Here's a strike move though. This is beautiful movement. You see there, DeMarco drifting out, Corneli in and around the ball, and then Donofrio tries. He's 6 tries. He wants to get another one before this tournament is over. Really nice manipulation of the defence. And Wales just jumping the gun. Lennon Greggins, too much line speed ahead of the curve. Penalty given by Sean Gallagher, and Italy now deep in Wales half.
So a final change for the Italians, as Nicolo Casillo is replaced by Luca Crossato from the Sandona club. So Italy once more looking to drive the ball towards that Welsh line. They've had a try in this second half to match the try that they got in the first half through Donofrio. But Wales do well to hold ball up and steal, and you know, plaudits going all around there for Tommy Reffel.
Delight within there, Tommy Reffel off the bench.
Here we go, let's go straight away.
The skipper in previous rounds over the top of the ball there, has done well to work his way through onto the ball, wins his side. A well-earned scrum. I'd love to see Wales have a go from their own line here. The game, as far as I'm concerned, is over. They're 4 scores ahead, but I think they will look for the conservative play. I can already see, albeit there's a bit of treatment, I think it's to Danilo Fischetti again, the front rower. Kai Evans and his howitzer of a right boot will probably look to get Wales back into the Italian half.
Let's go.
Well, I'm just looking down on the Welsh bench, and Ben Thomas is desperate to get on. He's the sole man who's left down there. I'm sure the Welsh coaching team will stick him on in the next couple of minutes.
Tough man to replace Kai Evans though. Hasn't he played well this afternoon?
Crouch!
Kicked everything off the tee.
Bind!
He's run the show from fly half.
Yeah, 4 conversions and a penalty for Kai Evans, and the try scored by Ryan Combeer, Max Llewellyn, and 1 for Dan Davis, plus a penalty try. 34 points to 12. Wales got off to such a cracking start, didn't they, by beating Australia 26-21.
Stay on the inside.
And they started strongly, they finished strongly.
Okay. Crouch! Bind!
So Italy will put a lot of pressure on this Welsh scrum as the ball's fed by Blacker, and it disintegrates, and penalty against Wales.
Collapsing.
And just as we saw Wales at the end of the first half put Italy under pressure, now it's Italy putting Wales under pressure at the end of the second half.
And they go to their favoured line out. Can they finish on a high here, Italy? They've stuttered their way through this match. They've been short of, a long way short of their best.
Niccolò Tadia, the try scorer, he scored the previous one, and it looks as though Italy are over again. They are. Tremendous play, this time scored by Romano.
I'll let you know in a second. I'll have to
And
find
Italy
out.
have got their third try of the match.
And you can see why they back it. When they get it right, it is such a big strength for Italy. The driving maul, they've used it throughout the whole tournament. Again, it was Matteo Canali rising high in the line out and just straight through the middle. Guido Romano just felt the pressure go. They managed to turn out the line out. You just see the front winning the space. And that's no contest. Corey Baldwin, the right winger, seeing Guido Romano with a couple of men latched onto him, driving over.
15.
Unconverted
15,
try.
sub.
So 32 points.
Less than 5.
34, sorry, to Italy 17.
15's gone. Let's go 10.
Good take there, wasn't it, from Canali, and a well-executed try for Italy.
And will that add to their frustration, Scott? You know, they're 34 points to 17 down, and they're not going to win this game, but discipline has let them down so much this afternoon.
So Italy attacking from deep through their replacement scrum half, Luca Crossato.
Tackle!
Italy under a little bit of pressure at the base there.
Okay, ball is there.
Canali with the take for Italy.
Didn't survive.
We're getting down to the last 3 minutes of the game now.
Red!
Who has the last say in the game? Well, Italy
Rob.
starting to force the errors from Wales as their replacement flying half, DeMarco, will clear up front. So for Italy, Rory, who's caught the eye and is potentially one for the future for you in this Italian side?
Well, obviously, the top of the tree has to be Giovanni Donofrio, this left winger who's top of the try-scoring charts in the tournament. I think Antonio Rizzi in the number 10 jersey is no longer on the field, but he really shone in this tournament, and they've got a lot of power in that pack. They just need to control their emotions slightly better than they have done this afternoon.
Fischetti then has the ball ripped off him by Ben Thomas, and coming away is Rhys Davis with ball in hand. A little pop pass over, and the ball by Combier down, but it finds a touch. And surely this time in midfield, Fischetti, who's had so much treatment in the second half, he's down once again. There he is. And that knee has been causing him lots of problems.
Yeah, he has. He won't be needed for this line out, so I think it'll be play on from Sean Gallagher. But there's another player down, I think. I can't see from where we are, but the game can't continue while the player's down, is it? Ah, there we go, it is. It's Lennon Greggins hobbling away. He's had a big afternoon as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, Greggins shakes himself, dusts himself down.
I'm here.
So Ben Thomas off the bench, so is Dowie Cross. So
he's coming off.
Well, problems here for Fischetti. They're just concerned about his breathing there.
Substitutes left.
You may have heard our referee Sean Gallagher talking about a substitute. There isn't any left.
Just see there, he was stripped of the ball by Ben Thomas in the tackle. Big collision. There you go. One for Ben Thomas's highlight reel there, a fly half stripping a loose head prop. But Fischetti coming off the worst of the two there. He's stayed down, so getting the medical attention.
So Rory, we have identified who you felt is in the Italian team who's really caught the eye. What about Wales in this performance? 34 points to 17. Who's caught the eye in this Welsh team?
Yeah, look, the couple of standout performers for me. I think obviously I naturally have a keen eye on the halfbacks, and Harry Morgan and Kai Evans were both excellent this afternoon. Johan Nicholas has led very well in that number 13 jersey. And in the forwards, I have to say Dan Davis has caught my eye, the open side flanker. He scored a try early on, the second try for Wales that gave them the lead. And he's really looks like a fine talent for the future. But underpinning all of this, Wales have just they've managed the game a lot better, and I'll have to credit the halfbacks and the platform that the forwards have allowed them this afternoon to do so.
So Mancini Parry comes on for Fischetti. You're allowed to have that change in the front row as Tadia finds the non-stop Ludovico Mani.
That's 1-9.
Big man Matteo Nocera. He is some unit for this Italian team, and perhaps one for the future. A big replacement forward.
Away red, release!
Last minute of this game. Well, it was Italy with the 8th seeding, Wales with the 7th seeding. That's the way it's going to be. Little ball and chip kick comes in there from Mascardi, but it's a poor finish from the outside centre for Italy.
Knock on by red first. Yes.
So the final play of the game.
Let's go. Discipline now.
There's some of the match stats. Wales with 289 metres and 51 gain line successes. So just dominating those areas of the game and carrying the ball well.
Crouch.
Coach Gary Lewis will be delighted with his charges.
Set.
Fabio Roselli pleased with the group stages for Italy, have won 2 games, and well, Italy have just made a nuisance of themselves every now and again in this match. Filippo De Marco will kick the ball out. You'll still have time for the line out, so one final play for the Italians. 3 tries to their name and a conversion. As De Marco barks the instructions to his forward pack. So Nicolo Tadia, Bussato to Mazza, who runs up the middle again. He's not had as much ball. Kai Evans with the tackle to halt the inside centre. The line speed is good from Wales. Off the bench, they're holding their man up now. That's the last play. Dan Davis tackles, but he has to release his man. Crossato has a little penetration round the flank.
Three, come back. No.
So De Marco runs through the half gap up and over the 22-metre line. Italy just trying to close out the match strongly. Counter ruck comes in from the Welsh team. But that man, Mani, once again just ensuring that the ball is still retained, and that, well, it's loose at the back, and Dan Davis intercepts. Dan Davis sprints down over the 10-yard line. Can he go the distance? Dan Davis eventually tackled there by Simone Connelly. With Dan Davis, and there's numbers over. If Wales can get it wide, there's a try on here. Kai Evans kicks for the corner. Baldwin chases. Baldwin, but Donofrio touches the ball down, and that will be the final action in the 7th playoff game. It's Wales who've won the match by 34 points to 17. The full-time score here in the 7th playoff game of the World Rugby Under-20s Championship. It was scrappy, but Wales did enough to win the game. As the captain, Johan Nicholas, shakes hands, Italy will be disappointed. It was an unstructured performance from them. But for Wales, 4 tries, including a penalty try, 4 conversions from Kai Evans and a penalty. Just confirmation once again that Wales win this one by 34 points to 17. So there's Kai Evans. A lot of these players will now take a break, and then they'll be back in pre-season training in a few weeks' time. Many of the Welsh players assigned to the regions. And for Italy, it's all about whether these young players can break through to their Pro 14 sides.
Thank you very much. And now, this is match.
So congratulations all round to Wales, and head coach Geraint Lewis will be delighted. But let's go down pitch side to Rory Lawson, who has Johan Nicholas, the Welsh captain.
Thank you very much. Merci à tous. Bonne fin de Coupe du Monde.
You wanted, what are your overriding emotions at the end of that game?
Yeah, tough for the boys. I think our performance was much better than the last few games, so we're really happy with the performance of the boys.
What were the key factors that led to your victory this afternoon?
I think we managed the game a bit better. I think obviously a bit of wind here, so we managed that well, and just playing better, less mistakes. So I think we played well today. Yeah.
And obviously Italy were heavily affected by yellow cards. Did that change the strategy and your approach to the game at all?
Yes, obviously there 2 yellow cards at 1 point, so we just kept in the scrum, and we got rewarded obviously with a penalty try. So good work from the boys.
And you finished 7th in the tournament. What does the report card say from your point of view at the end of the tournament?
I think we lost to a good New Zealand side. We've 3 wins out of 2 now, so I think it's a positive. So yeah, good.
Good man, Johan. Thanks for fronting up. Congrats on today's win, and a safe journey home.
Well, thanks Rory for that. The Italians will look on the words from their coach in the middle, Fabio Rosselli. They've done themselves proud, Italy, with a couple of wins in this tournament. And Wales, well, as you heard from their captain Johan Nicholas, they controlled the game better today. They got their campaign off to a wonderful start, having beaten Australia 26-21. The match against Japan, it was frustrating. They won by 1 point by 18-17, but they finished off strongly. Their 3rd win of the tournament so far. Well, for Italy, they got the 1 point win over Scotland in pool stages, 27 points to 26, and then they beat Argentina in their final pool match by 30 points to 27, but finish off the campaign with a loss today. Andy, should we just wrap up? Scott Tanyaman, can you put a graphic up of the final score? So from the Stade de Méditerranée in Béziers, the full-time score, confirmation that Wales won the 7th place playoff match by 34 points to 17.
advantage.